Super Mario Maker 2, and we are still going to be messing up the order of levels a little bit here. But I fix it. Trust me, it gets fixed very quickly. And this is going to be level 33 coming up here, which will be our first 4-star level. And it's actually one of the most fun levels. Now, as I said before, there's a few 4-star levels that I find easier than some 2-star levels. This was one of them. So this took me, I think, about 6 attempts, maybe. But I have gotten game over more than once on some 2-star levels, so I don't really know what that's about. But this is a speedrun level, and it's one that you can find all over the place online. They seem to be a huge community favorite, and some of the most fun levels that I've played online are pretty much like this one, where you just run and you have to hit these blocks or do something else very quickly, and if you mess up, then you pretty much have to restart the whole level because you only get 30 seconds, and some of them actually make you hit the blocks or jump to the notes of a song. One of them was from Gourmet Race, which is the Kirby song. That was a really, really dang fun level, so I might, if I can find that level again, I might put that code in the description for anyone who wants to try that one out, which that one was a ton of freaking fun. But I think you can also find that if you sort by popular, that might be on like number 3 most popular. So anyway, that's that level. Very short, and it might take you a couple of tries if you don't know the level, but once you complete it once, you get a nice 300 coin bonus. And, you know, hard to go wrong there. Unfortunately, you can't repeat that for the 300 coins because you only get that bonus once. And then our West Hall is almost completed. So now I realize my mistake with the level numbering, and we finally go back to where we started, which was number 20, or sorry, 19, and this is going to be Cheep something or other. What was the name of it? Plenty of Cheeps in the Sea, and it's made by Ocean Aficionado, how the heck you say that word? I know how to say that word, I just forgot about it right now. Well, anyway, there's going to be a ton of Cheeps, and you just got to avoid them. This is kind of a strange thing to me because in the 2D Mario games like Mario World and Super Mario Brothers, the Cheeps were always very annoying when I played those games on the NES way back in the day, and right there how it kind of passed through the top of that Cheep, it didn't kill me. If that were a 2D Mario game, that would have killed me, so that was a little bit of a shock to me. Inside this room, there's going to be a wall of Cheeps coming after us, so it kind of turns this into an auto-scroller. And if we come on down here, we want to try to avoid those whirlwinds. We could get that 10 coin if we really wanted to. I don't really want to, so I'm not going to. And just gotta avoid these spikes that are floating around, grab the checkpoint, and when we walk into the next room, there's going to be another small wall of Cheeps. But this is a pretty straightforward level. There's going to be a couple of something that I've never seen before either, which are underwater wigglers, and I've always kind of liked the wiggler enemy. I think that might be due to what's that game called? No, not Partners in Time. Superstar Saga, because there's a boss in a woods area of the section that's a wiggler, and I never really paid attention to the wiggler until that boss for some reason. So now I see them, I think of the game. I love Superstar Saga. I like the wiggler. I guess that makes sense. But we get up here, we can swim to the flagpole pretty easily. There we go, level over. Pretty easy level. Then our West Hall is going to complete, and we're not going to have enough gold quite yet to make another upgrade. We're going to be 11 short, so we're going to have to do one more level. So if I had actually collected that 10 coin, I probably could have done it a little bit earlier, but that's okay. So the Toad's going to be all happy, and then we can come back here and talk to the Taskmaster. No point in talking to the Chief yet because I don't have enough gold. And this is going to be another Fire Koopa clown car, but this might be the first one we run into. I think I did one that was a level 30-something level, so I might have done the second one before the first, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to walk on down here, and it's kind of interesting to me, too, how the clown car came in the Mario World games, and Bowser was inside of it the whole game, and he kept Peach there with him. But at some point, Bowser Jr. is the one who gets the clown car, so I guess Bowser's just passing it down to his kids. But only Bowser Jr., you know, not the other Koopalings. Just Bowser Jr. gets the clown car. So anyway, if you have a fire flower, then of course you get to shoot 3 fireballs, and if you charge it up, you get to destroy these big blocks that you otherwise would not be able to. And you want to make sure that you don't take damage when you are inside of this, so use the fireball power to kill all the Koopas that are there. And the only way you can actually take damage is if an enemy or something hits Mario. If it goes through the clown car, usually it's okay. but you still just want to make sure that none of these hammers hit you, none of those Koopa teeth hit you, you know, stuff that always happens when you're playing Mario games that never happens except when it's the worst possible time for it to happen. So this part took me a couple of tries, as we see there with my death, and I, you know, apparently have 5 lives left, so I might have gotten a game over. I don't think I did, though. I'm not really sure what happened. Anyway, we can get this spike helmet, the spiny helmet, and that's gonna protect us, kind of. I don't remember what it protects us from. It'll let us go, like, for those piranha plants on the right side of the screen there, we'll be able to go underneath them if we want to, but other than that, I don't know if it stops thwomps from... I mean, it does stop thwomps from jumping on our heads, but I don't know if that happens in this level or not. But anyway, there's a 1-up down there you can grab if you so desire. I think I'm pretty confident in finishing this level, so I don't really need to. And if you just go a little bit slowly... Oh, there is a thwomp. There we go. So if you just go a little bit slowly, you'll be able to make it through that no problem. And the spiny helmet really is pretty awesome. These flying spiny things, which look like they came out of Metroid... be careful because they will send spines after you, and sometimes they send them up and down, sometimes they get sent out diagonally. So a spine hit me there because there was a spiny that I did not see. Lost my spiny helmet, but I got a fire flower at some point that I completely missed, so we're good to go. And I don't really know how on earth you're supposed to get up there, but it doesn't really matter. We're just going to grab the gate and be done with that level. Oh, my laptop is really revving up the fans there. You ever have a laptop that you turn on for the first time in like 3 weeks, and then you have a million Windows updates, and then now I have to update Steam, the Epic Games launcher, I have to update the Battle.net launcher, and the off chance I want to play Fallout 76 again, which isn't likely, but who knows, I have to update the Bethesda launcher, and then if you play MMOs, all of those launchers have updates, and then you have Discord updates, and then you have all other kinds of software updates, and you can't even use the dang laptop for like 2 hours because everything's updating. It's like crazy, man. I remember when Steam was renowned for being the launcher to use because it kept all of your games in one spot. Similar to the way that Netflix was the streaming service to use because everything was on Netflix. But then the company started thinking, you know, if Steam could do it, why can't I? So Origin, EA was one of the first ones, even though there had been other launchers. EA was one of the first successful ones that didn't die immediately. And then I think it was like Battle.net launcher was a new one, but that was kind of coming from Blizzard because they had really been consolidating a ton of their game social stuff. I mean, friends lists transferred between games, nothing was really separate anymore in Blizzard games. And then after Blizzard, of course, everyone suddenly starts announcing that they're having a launcher, but Epic Games launcher came around a year and a half ago, only because of the accidental smashing success of Fortnite. And a lot of people forget Fortnite was a game before it became a battle royale, and Fortnite was kind of like a Minecraft clone, really. That's what it was. But they saw the success of PUBG, and they decided to make Fortnite, which was a heck of a lot less glitchy, and make it free. So people slowly transitioned from PUBG to Fortnite, and now hardly anybody ever talks about PUBG. It's all Fortnite everything, and because of that success, Epic Games decided they're going to compete with Valve, and they do that by giving the developers more money, and all the developers are making their players angry because they're like, yeah, our game's going to come on Steam, and then 3 months later, just kidding, Epic Games exclusive. But I don't really mind the Epic launcher, but just thanks to that, now I have to keep up with a bunch of different launchers, much in the same way I have to keep up with a bunch of different streaming services. Although the nice thing about the streaming services is that if there's a show you want to watch, you can just pay the $6 for 1 month, then cancel it, and, you know, it's not like you're going to watch one series 13 times, so it's not like I'm going to keep the subscription. And if we think about it, people have been wanting, I know this is a really long tangent, but people have been wanting the ability to choose their channels, right? And I think that's kind of what we're getting now. We can choose which shows we want to watch, but we have to use different streaming services. And if you want every single streaming service, if you wanted Hulu and Netflix and HBO and Stars and Showtime, and you wanted the upcoming Disney one, and you wanted, I'm sure there's others I'm missing, say you even want YouTube Red, say you want some kind of premium YouTubers, I don't know, some stuff like that, right? I think that costs more than cable does for all of that stuff. So that's kind of ironic. That might depend heavily on your cable company, though, and the choices you're going to be choosing. Not to mention sports stuff. I don't know if there's sports streaming services you can pay for separately, but it's just kind of funny to me. Everyone, loved streaming because it was cheaper, but they're going to get their money one way or another, so it's not really going to be cheaper no matter how hard we want it to be. The only way it would be cheaper is if we stopped buying it when it's so expensive, but there's so many dang people using these services that's just not going to happen. Anyway, that's it for that rant, I guess. Steam is fine, and so is Epic Games Launcher. Origin I still hate because it never works for me. I don't know how EA has managed to make Origin so bad so many years later. But whatever. There's not really an EA game even worth buying anymore, is there? So EA had BioWare, right? BioWare used to be such a good company, and now they're so mediocre. It's like an indie company is showing you up. There's something wrong there, BioWare. Anyway, so that was a really straightforward Yoshi level, and now we're going to do one more level, so this will be above the clouds, beyond the vines. So it's one of the first time, this might be the first time we see the vines, I'm not sure. So I know in Mario Maker 1, they limited when you could start using things in the course maker, and that was what I mean is like you had to wait a day before you could unlock everything. So it was like a week later when you buy the game and you go to the course maker every day, you'd unlock some kind of new tool you could use. And it was kind of a weird way to do things. People were switching the clock on their Wii U to make it the next day, and then do that just so they could get everything unlocked. And Nintendo did say that they did that so it would ease you into the tools available to you, but in this game, everything's unlocked right from the beginning, and it kind of feels like they're easing people into ideas with the story mode, because they're introducing all of these things that if you've played a Mario game before, you've seen them, but maybe if you've never played a Mario game before, you have no idea what any of these things are, so it is kind of a nice way to introduce you into this stuff. So I kind of like how they made a lot of these themed levels, and later on they really start mixing all this stuff together. And they're doing a pretty good job of that right now, but especially way later on, it's just sort of anything goes. It's just a free-for-all of torture, but still, none of the story missions so far have been anywhere nearly as difficult as any random mission you can find online when you sort by new courses. Or heck, if you do the endless mode, the weirdest thing with the endless mode, like I have, I think like 13 courses completed on the expert difficulty, but I only have 4 completed on normal, and on expert you get like 10 or 15 lives, but on normal you only get 5, and some of those normal courses I don't think belong in the normal section, but I'm pretty sure they choose the courses that go in endless based on the completion rate. So I'm sure it's like after a certain percentage of completion, that's what that determines whether or not it goes into expert or not. But for some reason, I can do the expert matches just fine. The expert level's just fine. I just can't do the normal ones past like 3 or 4 of them. I don't know, it's really weird. I also did not know the Kit 2s could throw out chain chomps like that one did. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this level and also the end of this video.
Oh yeah, Mario time!